Gentlemen, please remain standing while Megan McCaffrey leads us in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. At this time, we would like to invite the Jockey Hollow 8th grade chorus to perform the national anthem.
go right along with it. And so in an effort to make sure everybody gets their certificate tonight, we are going to start with the calling of the names. Yes, seriously. And when that is done, as long as our weather holds, we will go back and do the rest of our program, but for now, that's where we're going to start. So, I would like to welcome at this time, this is Jackie Delvecchio and this is Susan Russell, who will now read the names of students as they receive their certificates. Assisting them in the presentation are Board of Education members, Jerry Stevens and Justin Orlando.
Marco John Luca. Adriana Claire Lugo.
Griffin Thomas Allen.
Leah Layla Magor.
Anthony Ryan Alley.
Jason Paul Galnick Jr.
John Joseph Anselm.
Catherine Elizabeth Majersky.
Ari Michael Ash.
Madison Catherine Malicka.
Isabella Drew Muhammad.
Juliana Maria Maniscalco.
Daniel George Wellisheri.
Olivia Elizabeth Maniscalco.
Sally Day Barrett.
Emily Grace Marshish Kivish.
Mert Bakis.
Ian Ricardo Miraquin.
Jake Boscheman.
Katie Maria Miraquin.
Sarah Isabella Bento.
Jenna Lynn Tate.
Jordan Bennett. Richard John Beirut.
Lila Rose Montmati.
Ethan William Bittner.
Megan Elizabeth McCaffrey.
Lily Rose Blair.
Dylan Joseph McKellick.
Addison Catherine Blacksley.
Sarah Jane Mackenzie Meacham.
Cassidy Jean Bloom.
Kirsten Cassie Meadows.
Natalie Rose Minetti.
Cameron Mays.
John Douglas Wartsfield.
Alexander Campos Medeiros.
Erin Elizabeth Couchman.
Zariel John Meinke.
Addison Elizabeth Brennan.
Holton Jacob Mintus.
Daniel Brigham.
John Gregory Mercier.
Daniel Joseph Caparo.
Molly Ann Mercier.
Sophia Claire Callison.
Maddox Shea Marizaldi.
Liam Francis Cameron.
Anthony Carmen Vignon.
Carly Grace Cannon.
Ryan Boone Biles.
Christian Ariel Cardona.
Madison Ann Minicus.
Ishel Carranza.
Owen David Mock.
Madeline Maxwell Carroll.
Emma Marie Mondo.
Audrey Soleil Cartagena.
Michael Raphael Mordehai.
Mason Alexander Cartwright.
Al Michael Morgenthal.
Allison Sophia Catalan.
Jalise Lizette Morabel Rios.
Savannah Marie Cedron.
Grace Emma Mora.
Aaron Michael Champagne.
Isa Adam Lufty.
Joshua Ethan Charlotte.
Terrence Mullen.
Christina Chen.
Sarah Isabella Nascimento.
Santosh Chantalethan.
Brian Elizabeth Morissette Nelson.
Gavin Joseph Chilla.
Sydney Alvis De Freitas Newton.
Adnan Haq Chowdhury.
J.J. Newton.
Summer Lynn Cristiano.
Emily Joy O'Reilly.
Emily Grace Clark.
Cassandra Giovanna Lugano.
Jackson Merrick Clark.
Christopher Lucas Malala.
William Wilton Clark.
Santiago Ordonez.
Isabella Mia Colabella.
Hayden Grace Orlando.
Matthew Charles Holberg.
Sanjana Chowdhury Pamukani.
Michaela Rose Collins.
Dylan Christopher Perry.
Now assisting with the handing out of certificates are Board of Ed members Dr. Alan Baglivello and Christine Casella. Alexander Antonio Colon.
Angelina Michelle Paulino.
Noah Camacho.
Dylan Ryan Peace.
Olivia Ann Carter.
Dylan Jarrell Perez Pelez.
Fiona Grace Connolly.
Sienna Valerio Perpetua.
Nico Convertito.
Long Bao Fong.
Luke James Constantine.
Brody Nicholas Philbin.
Morgan Marie Cooley.
Aiden Robert Petro.
Thomas Jonathan Bremen.
Jessica Kathy Poole.
Aiden Emmanuel Crump.
David Mark Palovich.
Adrian Victoria Crowley.
Megan Elizabeth Putnam.
Graham Wilson Seiler.
Eliana Rosa Hayes.
Joaquin Xavier Del Castro.
Larissa Raj.
Thomas John DePonte.
Celie Robichaud.
Joshua Andres Diaz de Villa.
Juliana Maria Reckner.
Ava Mary Dayton.
Kiara Sunny Reed.
Olivia Marie DiGiannato.
Alex Vincent Ringo.
Genevieve Vanessa Elgato.
Sebastian Marcos Leo.
Kawan Carvalho de Santana.
Abigail Rose Rivera.
Antonio Michael DeSanti.
Shane Brady Robertson.
Chase DeSanto.
Carla Diana Gonzalez Rodriguez.
Valentina Belen de Scala.
Cameron Ray Robb.
Sean Michael Diaz.
Kiara Grace Rowley.
Maya Adeline Dosh.
Calista Evangeline Rubin.
Braden Thomas Forney.
Alexander David Dos Santos Tiago.
Tyler Christopher Drack.
Samantha Estelle Tolila.
Caleb Isaac Drew.
Gabrielle Torres.
Carter Driscoll.
My apologies, I skipped a section of the alphabet. Four. Okay. Micah James Russell. Taylor Lynn Russo. Amar Salik. And Aiden Joseph Santasario.
Danielle Brooke Dubé.
Lena Simovich.
Kate Towers Deb.
Kyle Peter Saxon.
Amelia Casar.
Raymond Joseph Sprague III.
Anaya London A. Fraser.
William Philip Schultz.
Mason William Leonardi.
Gabriella Lynn Zorza.
Jake Emilio Emke.
Addison Clark Scott.
Haley Ann Igo.
Lauren Marie Scott.
Ryan Sean Ewald.
Ryan Shoki Singh.
Juliana Gabrielle Falcone.
Natalia Amelia Sequeira.
Manuela Imani Faria.
Pauline Frederick Divine Shelby Coop.
Matthew Eduman.
Grace Elizabeth Shevlin.
Eve Christine Fernandez.
Sadine Ali Chalet.
Juliana Marie Ferreira.
Ariane Shopaki.
Penelope Elise Field.
Danielle Sheridan.
Harry Berta.
Justin Brian Sickman.
Maya Ann Fisher.
Danelle Hill City.
Daniel Lorenzo Fontana.
Dylan Thomas Sigovich.
Hannah Sophia Gordon.
Jacqueline Francesca Sutton.
Graham Donald Gabriel.
Philip Silver.
Now assisting with handing out of certificates, Board of Ed members Dennis Condon and Chrissy Martinez. Ryan Garamella,
Addison Marie Sims,
Hadassah Leah Key,
Edward Eustace Simpson,
Tanisha Guerra,
Jacqueline Renee Simpson,
Alyssa Gotti,
Landon Thomas Skidmore,
Gianna Gazal,
Madison Ava Smirkanis,
Michaela Helen Gill,
Igor Silvestro,
Matthew Gill III,
Sarah Elizabeth Sternhall,
Jonathan Goldstein,
Zachary Nathan Sternhall,
William Ryan Harden,
Sabina Bella Zale,
Giovanna Makari Henry,
Evan William Taylor,
Raymond Daniel Hirschberger,
Riley Marie Tom,
Arizmendi Emilio Hidalgo,
Ethan George Thomas,
Alexis Grace Aiucci,
Alexander David Dos Santos Thiago,
Jeremy Miguez Mendoza,
Samantha Estelle Tavila,
Jack Matthew Burbank,
Gabriel Torres,
Tessa D. Iglesias,
Gavin Torres,
Devin Jean-Baptiste,
Alexandria Grace Troiano,
Justin Jimenez,
Paige Allen Johnson,
Delaney Tessa Judge,
Alexis Ann Sickes,
Ayana Picado,
Elijah Willem Tully,
Quinn Ulysses Capel,
Chloe Divine Destiny Tertullian,
Annabelle Elizabeth Kelly,
Ishani Tiago,
Kathleen Dolores McCullough,
Leah Grace Tyler,
Julia Claire Kinahan,
Jennifer Grace Wilkie,
Andrew William Curry,
Isabella Sophia Herbisco,
Gia Green Kluger,
Shiv Raj Irma,
Daniel Coaches,
Giovanni Philip Vetro,
Adonis Constantinides,
Heather Smirly Santiago Vieja,
Tanvi Cole,
Christian Carion Villegas,
Madeline Ann Pizarra,
Lexi Dale Wade,
Ruby Eloise Kuhan,
Talia L. Wade,
Nicole Kupiela,
Philip Jan Wankowski,
Greta Susan Perkowski,
Tanner Troy Walker,
Jake Robert Kyle,
Aiden Connor Wallace,
Avery Noel Lavella,
Chase Alfred Walser,
Brigitte Claire Maria,
Michael Francis Walker,
Genevieve Marie Cloud,
Madison Jean Wasilewski,
Melanie Naya Levy,
Elmira Lisa,
Harry Alfred Lee,
Alexander James Walensky,
Kalia Lynn,
Aki Reddy Garaguni,
Marshall Edward Lynn,
Eli Gilonhi,
Riley Preston Cooper,
Jack Kenneth Zurich,
Angelina Judy Livingston,
Samia Madison Silas,
Daniel James Guardano,
Justin Robert Ziskowski,
congratulations to the graduating class of Dr.
Okay, we're going to go back to the beginning of the program. It looks like the weather is holding out, and at this point, I would like to welcome Ms. Julia Strong, principal of Jockey Hollow School, who has a few remarks for the graduates.
Thank you everyone for your persistence this evening. Good evening, Superintendent Cobza, Assistant Superintendent Casanelli, members of the Monroe Board of Education, Representative Scott, First Selectman Kellogg, my fellow administrators, Jockey Hollow faculty members, parents, grandparents, families, and guests, and most importantly, our students from the remarkable class of 2023. I'm so proud of this Pride Alliance, and I'm honored to celebrate this milestone ceremony with you. All the way back to ancient Roman civilization, stone structures with numbers carved into them were placed every mile along major roads, so travelers could see how far they'd come and how much longer they had to go. It seems that moms and dads were already hearing, "Are we there yet?" well before cars were invented. These milestones were installed long before the travelers passed and remained long after. Eventually, a milestone came to be anything that marked one's progress. We'll certainly look back on 22-23 as a milestone year. Monroe passed the bicentennial mark. Jockey Hollow Middle School turned 25. I completed my first year as principal. And some dear members of our community have reached their final years as educators in Monroe. At this time, I would like to congratulate our retiring educators, Mrs. Laura Chadwick, Mrs. Lisa Roman, Mrs. Sheila Diener Elser, Mrs. Kathy Ducharme, Mrs. Evelyn Ramos, and Mrs. Diane Barwani. May the road ahead be just as fulfilling as you have made our journey together. And of course, most importantly, this recognition ceremony is a milestone marking how far you, our 8th graders, have come, while reminding us too of what lies ahead. There's a stone bench outside the front door of main campus. It was there long before we all got to Jockey Hollow, and it'll be there after we go. Take a look the next time you pass by. There's an inscription carved into the stone that is a quote from Jockey Hollow's first principal, Mrs. Anita Healy, that reads, "Adolescents are in the state of becoming." That's a perfect way to describe your accomplishments over the past 3 years. Every single one of you has made great progress along the road to becoming critical thinkers, becoming problem solvers, curious learners, compassionate friends, and responsible citizens. That progress was nurtured by our fantastic Jockey Hollow faculty, who traveled by your side the whole way and sit by your side right now. You carry our support with you on the road ahead. Please make sure after the ceremony you give a hug to your folks and say thank you for all their love and support on your journey. Every time they help you talk something through or assist with a homework question, drop you off, pick you up, or sit on a garbage bag in the rain to watch you succeed. They are putting their love into action to propel your travels. Stay close to them as you journey away from us. Nelson Mandela, the former president of South Africa, who won the Nobel Peace Prize when I was still a student, famously said, "We should remember to celebrate milestones as we prepare for the road ahead." I'm inspired by how far you've come, and I know you're prepared for the road ahead. Congratulations to the class of 2023. And now it's my pleasure to welcome to the stage the winner of our student speech competition for the recognition ceremony, Nicole Cuvier.
Good evening, teachers, staff, and families. My name is Nicole Cuvier. Today is a really special day for all of us. Today is Jockey Hollow Middle School's recognition ceremony. As many of you know, I am from Ukraine. I would like to share my experience of moving from Ukraine to the US. My flight settled down on American land March 2nd, 2022, right after the war in Ukraine had begun. I was really worried about how my life would continue. I had so many questions. Am I going to stay in America? When will the war end? Will I go back to Ukraine after the war ends? I had no idea what to do or how to act. I had so many questions in my head that I didn't know how to answer. Although my English was horrible, I understood what people were saying, but I could not answer them, so I was silent. When my family told me that I was going to school in Monroe, I was very scared. I didn't know how I was going to talk to people or do anything in this new place. But when I stepped into the school, I instantly felt at ease. Colorful murals filled the walls, even a "We Stand with Ukraine" poster, and many friendly teachers and staff welcomed me. These friendly teachers continue to help me understanding what to do given my current level of English. Every single teacher here is really kind and willing to assist me with anything, and I especially love that each teacher has their own personality. Also, I'm really impressed with how teachers remain so calm and professional when the kids are acting like toddlers. In Ukraine, the teachers reacted very differently. Being here has helped me realize that we can all spread our wings and show our true selves. Now I feel like I have truly become a part of the school. I feel like this is my place, and I'm no longer silent. Being a teenager in a few days, I could not believe how quickly my peers welcomed me. Jockey Hollow fosters friendships, whether through working in groups, projects, or attending after-school events. Friends celebrate the good times and provide support during bad times. Class, I invite you to take a moment to be grateful for the friends and loved ones who do the same for you. I want to thank Jockey Hollow for teaching us the importance of being responsible. We know to never forget to take the pencils in class and remember our independent reading books travel with us everywhere. Through music, we see importance of harmonizing with others. And do you know how important our First Amendment is? It protects our freedom of speech. From solving equations in math to actually understanding the language of Shakespeare, we have become responsible for our learning. If you think about it, since birth, we have continued to grow and learn, but getting through middle school was not easy. Some of us didn't get a grade we hoped for, a few of us didn't make a team or get a part in play we have wished for. We lost and gained friends, but along this path, we have learned things that we didn't know before, and they have shaped us. Every failure or mistake has served as a new experience and had been a step for all of us in becoming the best versions of ourselves as we enter high school. So I may have begun my journey as a girl on the plane with so many questions and worries. I was a girl without a voice. But now, with the help of my aunt and uncle who welcomed my family into their home, and the kindness of the teachers, staff, and students here at Jockey Hollow, I have found my voice and would like to share this bit of advice. We are all on a journey, and change is difficult. As we stand here saying goodbye to the familiar halls of Jockey Hollow, we might be feeling a mix of stressed, excited, nervous, and scared about beginning the high school. My advice is not to be afraid of change. Know that there will be always problems in life. But with the help of friends, family, and educators, we will always be able to reach greater heights than we could never ever imagine. Because we all have a voice. Thank you.
Thank you, Nicole. At this point, please welcome our guest speaker, Mr. Joseph Kabza, Superintendent of Schools.
I wish I went before that. That was awesome. Members of the Monroe Board of Education, First Selectman Kellogg, State Representative Scott, Mrs. Casanelli, Assistant Superintendent, Mrs. Strong, my fellow Monroe administrators, members of the faculty, parents, guests, and members of the Jockey Hollow 8th grade class of 2023, good evening. It's my pleasure to speak to you today to celebrate the culmination of your 3 years at Jockey Hollow Middle School. Middle school is that great transition and bridge between elementary and high school. As you wind down your last days of 8th grade, I hope you've taken a little time to reflect on the person you were when you took those first steps into Jockey Hollow or STEM 3 years ago. I imagine you have changed quite a bit. Middle school, for a lot of people, is a time of self-discovery. It's a time for you to begin to explore your passions. And trust me, you'll have plenty more time over the next 4 years to continue to do just that. Middle school is also a time when we begin to make more meaningful connections with our peers. Last year, like millions of other middle schoolers before you, including most of your parents and me, you read S.E. Hinton's famous novel, The Outsiders. Although the book was written in 1967, one of the major themes of the book is timeless. The struggle that people face in finding their group, attempting to avoid being an outsider. What is particularly compelling about this classic story is that both teenage groups, the Socias and the Greasers, believe that in some way they are each outsiders. Even as an adult, there are times when I have felt like an outsider. The reality is that we all have our moments of self-doubt and isolation, but it is imperative that we remember that we are always part of a strong community, a town, a school, a team, a family, a friendship. The young characters of The Outsiders are all searching for fulfillment and looking for the next great thing. Your next steps to high school are also full of promise and expectation. Maintain that bright outlook and that gleaming optimism. To the 2023 8th grade class, in the year that we celebrate Jockey Hollow's silver anniversary, I encourage you to listen to the words of Johnny Cave and stay gold, Pony Boy, stay gold. Congratulations to the class of 2023.
At this point, I'd like to introduce Mrs. Caitlin Nobley, who will present our first set of awards.
At this time, we would like to recognize students who received PIN Awards earlier today. PIN Awards are awarded to students with the highest academic averages in specific subjects and unified arts classes. Students, as your name is called to be recognized, please remain standing until all students in your subject area have been called. Receiving pins for language arts: Lam Pham, Kirsten Meadows, Tanisha Guerra, Tessa Iwaskowitz, Ava Dayton, and Sarah Bento. For geometry, Daniel Londano, Lam Pham, Tessa Iwaskowitz, Lena Sevkovic. Algebra, Kirsten Meadows, Christopher Olala, Carrie Furta, Maya Fisher, Daniel Shurigan, and Chase DeSanto. Math 8, Jennifer Velke, Philip Wadalkowski, Nicole Kupieva, Gabriela Scorza, Sarah Bento, and Cameron Mays. For science, Aki Yuragudi, Isa Mufti, Kerry Furta, Owen Mock, Chase DeSanto, and Aiden Petro. For social studies, Kirsten Meadows, Lam Pham, Tanisha Guerra, Gabriela Scorza, Sam Tolila, and Kira Rowley. Spanish 1, Dylan Pease, Trey Spraga, Ryan Garamella, Eli Jalankin, Jack Zurich, and Greta Kirkoski. Spanish 2, Hadassah Gee, Kirsten Meadows, Gabriela Scorza, Juliana Maniscalco, Katie Mariquin, and Daniel Cochan. For French 1, Sarah Bento. French 2, Lam Pham, Isa Mufti, Tessa Iwaskowitz, and Athena Abordo, Chase DeSanto, and Megan McCaffrey. For art, Kalia Lynn, Ari Ash, Athena Abordo, Humera Wisa, Kira Rowley, and Penelope Fields. For physical education, Dakota Newton, Alexis Siklis, Gia Cloder, Addison Brennan, Ryan Garamella, and Graham Gabriel. Technology education, Lam Pham, Kirsten Meadows, Adnan Chowdhury, Ethan Thomas, Ryan Nelson, and Colton Mentes. For health, Brody Philbin, Hadassah Gee, Kerry Furta, Quinn Capel, Aiden Petro, and Ryan Nelson. For band, Matthew Kohlberg, Harry Lee, Lily Blair, Isabella Colabella, Jason McGalnick, and Alexandria Troiano. For chorus, Adrian Crowley, Cassandra Agando, Savannah Cedrone, Maya Fisher, Allison Catalan, and Sebastian Riera. For strings, William Hardy, Kawan DeSantana, Athena Abordo, Riley Lippert, Cameron Mays, and Justin Jimenez. For music and technology, Brody Philbin, Kiara Ree, Sophia Callison, Adnan Chowdhury, Catherine Majerski, and Lauren Scott. For independent research, Philip Wadolkowski, Sanjana Pamalapati, and Madison Maliko. I would now like to introduce Mr. Jonathan Mercado, who will recognize Unified Sports and Community Service.
At this time, we would like to recognize students who have completed community service. A fun fact that we'd like to share about the community service that this wonderful group has given to our community is that we've had a total of 1,934 hours of volunteer time offered to the Monroe community and beyond. So just like to recognize that. Students, as your name is called, please remain standing until all students have been called. Griffin Allen, Sarah Bento, Natalie Benetti, Liam Cameron, Savannah Cedrone, Santos Chentanathan, Summer Cristiano, Adrian Crowley, Christina Chen, Fiona Connolly, Haley Igo, Maya Fisher, Hadassah G, Tanisha Guerra, Delaney Judge, Julia Kinahan, Genevieve Lau, Adriana Lupo, Megan McCaffrey, Dylan McKellick, Sarah Meacham, Kirsten Meadows, Madison Minikis, Owen Mock, Jalise Morabello Rios, Terrence Mullen, Brody Philbin, Abigail Rivera, C.E. Robifer, Callista Rubin, Lauren Scott, Ryan Safe, Justin Sickerman, Sarah Sternthal, Zachary Sternthal, Ashani Tiagi, Shiv Verma, Aiden Wallace, and Jack Zurich. At this time, we would also like to recognize students who participated in unified sports. Students, as your name is called to be recognized, please remain standing until all names have been called. Thomas Kremen, Valentina Descala, Caleb Drew, Manuela Faria, Maya Fisher, Hadassah G, Julia Kinahan, Jason McGalnick, and Jack Zurich. At this time, I'll invite Maureen Donahue to present our next award.
The Monroe Education Association annually presents a book award that recognizes scholastic achievement. This award is in memory of 3 Monroe residents, Margaret Behrens, Bob Rush, and Deborah Reed, who throughout their lifetime supported quality education in Monroe. The recipients of this award maintain high academic averages for the years spent at Jockey Hollow School. Teachers describe these students as ones who strive to put their best foot forward and reach the high standards and expectations they set for themselves. Their positive outlook is recognized by staff and classmates alike, and their hard work throughout the past 3 years has not gone unnoticed. It's with great pleasure that the Monroe Education Association presents this award in memory of Margaret Behrens, Bob Rush, and Deborah Reed to Lam Bao Pham and Eli Zelonsky. And now I'd like to introduce Laura Marr.
Good evening. This year, our Unified Sports team had 2 nominees for the One Athlete, One Partner Award. As part of the application process, the students wrote an essay pertaining to how Unified Sports has impacted their lives. Our student partner team of Julia Kinahan and Valentina Descala were the first place winners of the essay contest. Here's just a snippet of the winning essay. Unified Sports has helped me to view everyone equally, no matter what their differences are. I have learned teamwork, respect, and kindness. It is extremely important that my friends and the school community are accepting and willing to support one another through Unified Sports. This experience has helped me grow as a person and appreciate everyone. Although they were already recognized at the Unified Sports Award banquet, we would like them to stand for recognition tonight. And now Amanda Kirk will represent the next award.
Good evening, everyone. Today, I have the honor of presenting the Bruce Lazar Memorial Award. Thank you to Mr. Rob Tresser, who will be handing out the awards. Bruce Lazar was a beloved teacher and administrator for 29 years here in Monroe. He had a lifelong commitment to personal fitness and community wellness. Mr. Lazar was a college athlete and later represented the United States in the World Games for men's softball. He was a dedicated youth coach and UConn superfan. As a Monroe resident, he was always focused on building strong relationships within our community. Each year, you could count on Mr. Lazar to take the polar plunge into Great Hollow Lake for the Special Olympics. Or you might catch him at the Cub Scouts' annual Blue and Gold dinner. As a leader in several of our schools, Mr. Lazar helped any student who needed a little extra support to be successful. He was also known for his assistance with the Sandy Hook students when they temporarily came to school at Chalk Hill. In memory of Bruce Lazar, I am pleased to recognize 2 students for their contributions to our school community, as well as their dedication to health and wellness. The 2023 recipients are John Douglas Bortsfield and Alexis Ann Siklis. I would now like to invite Mrs. Amy Alterman to the podium.
Kathleen Kuhl was an inspiring 8th grade math teacher who loved her job and loved creating challenging and engaging lessons. She was also a fearless leader and the heart and soul of the Monroe Education Association. She inspired everyone to be a strong, caring, and reliable leader, and was a knowledgeable and nurturing mentor to many, including myself. Each year, we present the Kathleen Kuhl Leadership Award in her honor to 2 students who exhibit a love and passion for math and have the best interest of others at heart. The first recipient of this award shows her love of math in class every day. She is quick to add to classroom discussions, volunteer to show her work, and most importantly, she is always excited and willing to help others, similar to Kathy. I am proud to present this Kathleen Kuhl Leadership Award to Isa Mufti. Entering 8th grade as a new student to Monroe is a huge and scary adjustment. However, this student made the transition seem so natural and easy because of her confidence and warm personality. She is always one to share a hello, goodbye, and thank you, and always has her hand up to participate in class. It is because of these traits that she is a leader in her math class and amongst her peers. Students know that this student is reliable and trustworthy, 2 of the best attributes possessed by Kathy. I am honored to present this second Kathleen Kuhl Leadership Award to Sarah Bento. And now, Mary Ballas will come up to present the next award.
The Michael Sador Award is given each year to recipients who demonstrate tenacity and perseverance, along with high honors in science. This year, we are recognizing 2 students who exemplify these traits. Our first student shows a natural love for the subject, and this is apparent in every conversation you may have with him. He is a positive contributor in class and meets challenges with enthusiasm. His background knowledge on certain topics seems as vast as the universe. This award goes to Daniel Sherigan. Congrats. Our next student's inquisitive nature made her an easy selection for this year's Science Award. She's regularly researching facts and phenomena. This student goes above and beyond in her work and thrives in classroom discussions. The award goes to Kirsten Meadows. I would like to welcome Mr. Doug Del Vecchio, who will present the Douglas J. Del Vecchio Memorial Award.
Hello, class of 2023. Good evening, Monroe community. The Douglas J. Del Vecchio Memorial Award is given in honor of my father to two students who exhibit passion, tenacity, and perseverance, resulting in high achievement in U.S. history class. My dad was an 8th grade U.S. history teacher here for 34 years at both Chalk Hill and Jockey Hollow School from 1969 to 2003. Some of your parents and even grandparents in the crowd tonight had him as their U.S. history teacher. He loved history and also the ability to teach the subject to young people. Believe me, I spent many summer vacations visiting historical spots rather than time at the beach. Looking back, I am forever grateful because of what he instilled in terms of history, the love of history in me. Hopefully, your 8th grade history teacher has inspired you to continue to learn more about the world around you. The STEM recipient is a student who perfectly embodies what it means to be a student of history. Despite a very busy schedule, this student has maintained a relentless passion for history and inquiry. This student frequently puts her best foot forward by asking insightful questions and making sure that her classmates enjoy history as much as she does. Her leadership qualities extend beyond Mr. Cacase's history classroom and are apparent both on the Jockey Hollow stage and in the hockey rink. Therefore, it is my honor to award the Douglas J. Memorial Award to Jennifer Velke. The main campus recipient happens to be one of my personal young historians, as I call all of my students who enter my classroom. This person always came to school with a positive attitude and worked well with his peers, always willing to lend a hand in or out of the classroom. They were one of my students who helped to create the History Timeline mural on the 8th grade floor. In this person's own words, they said they enjoyed the inquiry-based research format and inclusive class discussions. They felt like they had a voice in history class. They even mentioned in the beginning of the year about how he and his brothers researched their own family history, stumbling on the fact that they are not related to a signer of the Declaration of Independence, as originally thought, but actually related to a few presidents. Pretty cool in any history teacher's eyes. It is with great honor to present the Douglas J. Del Vecchio Memorial Award to Marshall Lynn. John Biazzi will now present the Robert A. Schiffer Award.
Welcome, everybody. The Schiffer Award honors the memory of Robert Schiffer. The storied Bob Schiffer was an accomplished and dedicated Chalk Hill art teacher. His insights into subject matter, and more importantly, his students, made him so. He brought to his classroom and his middle schoolers the conviction that the arts, all of them, can make a difference, open doors, give voice and strength and direction to young minds and hearts. This year's honorees especially embody these powerful ideas. They are both their own people in all respects and are taking control of their lives in a most wonderful and promising way. It is my great privilege to announce C.U. Ropkiffer and Cassandra Giovanna Ogando as the winners of the Robert Schiffer Award. Now we'd like to bring to the podium Jacqueline Flynn.
The Debbie Reed Award keeps alive the many fond memories of Jockey Hollow's very own Debbie Reed. She absolutely embodied the heart of Lions pride. As our school's front office secretary, saying hello to Debbie marked the start to the day, and her hello in return just made that day better. She was dedicated, caring, positive, funny, and made everyone feel special. This award acknowledges a student who most readily personifies these traits: capacities not assessed in standardized tests and classroom rubrics, but perhaps the most important abilities of all. She naturally improves all our days just by being a part of them. She is described by her teachers as being friendly, kind, and welcoming. It is my great pleasure to present the 2023 Debbie Reed Award to Maya Fisher. And now I'd like to introduce Mr. Mark Schwartz, who will present the next award.
Thank you. Good evening, everyone, and congratulations, students. Every year, Jockey Hollow participates in the Western Connecticut Superintendents Association Student Award. 2 students from the middle school are chosen based on 3 criteria: community service and service to others, academic achievement, and leadership in the school community. These awards are designed to recognize the work ethic and strong character of students who are role models for others. This year's winners were previously honored at the WSCA annual dinner, but I'd like these students to please stand for a round of applause. Congratulations to Tanisha Guerra and Aiden Petro. And now, our principal, Ms. Strong, will present our Outstanding Student Awards.
The Outstanding Student Award is presented to 2 8th graders chosen by the faculty who have demonstrated academic prowess and model citizenship throughout their years at Jockey Hollow. They exemplify our motto of Lions Pride. Your contributions are recognized by staff and students alike. The first recipient of this award is an A+ student who has consistently achieved at the highest level academically. Her investment in her learning is matched by her commitment to Jockey Hollow and Monroe. She is a pillar of the Unified Sports Program and is honored tonight for her community service as well. In chorus, she can be seen sitting among peers who might need help with a singing passage. She is proof that we rise by lifting others. Please join me in congratulating our first Outstanding Student Award winner, Hadassah G. Our second recipient is another uplifting member of our community. Although this student learns easily, her teachers say she retains an old-school work ethic. She revises thoughtfully and collaborates responsibly. She's a leader by example in class and in character. Teachers call her the kindest person around. She's everyone's go-to for working together. She reminds us not only to be kind whenever possible, but that it is always possible. Please join me in congratulating our second Outstanding Student Award winner, Alyssa Ghani. Thank you, everyone. And now I'd like to bring back to the podium, and could we please give her a round of applause for our wonderful MC, Mrs. Abby Carey.
Thank you, everyone, for coming, and I'd like to once again recognize and ask the class of 2023 to stand. Congratulations, everybody.